Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Future. My name's Chris Kalaboukis, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation, startups, the future, not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be notified when a new show comes online. And if you're listening on a favorite podcast service, please subscribe. Please drop a note on Apple Podcasts. I greatly appreciate it. Now, I read the other day that Disney has, using AI, figured out a way to de-age characters. De-age them completely. So, take an actor, have him or her act whatever they're going to act, and they could turn them into a younger version of themselves. Now, they tried doing this in Tron, the sequel to the first Tron, and I think it was terrible. It was this weird Uncanny Valley thing going on with Jeff Bridges. I don't know what the hell was going on there. But apparently they've perfected, I don't know if they've perfected it because they still have issues with AI. I mean, anybody who's watched any Marvel stuff, like for example, She-Hulk, and that was forgettable. I never should have watched that. But yeah, you could tell there's AI. God, Hulk and She-Hulk is AI. You can tell they're fake. And this is the problem I have with AI, not AI, but CGI, is that a lot of times, a lot of people are looking at it and they're going, I know that this is fake. I know that's not a real person there. I know it's just CGI. So how can I possibly get concerned that this CGI character is going to lose their life or get punched real hard? Do I really care about this CGI character? Not really. Well, maybe that's just me. Maybe you all care about CGI characters. If you ask me, I'm surprised that we haven't gotten to the point yet where we're creating fake actors. I mean, aren't actors really expensive? I mean, doesn't Tom Cruise command something like $50 million a movie? Why can't we create actors? Like, what is it, Miku in Japan, that singer that they've created? I mean, she's like a huge phenomenon. She puts out albums. She hangs out with her fans. Some guy even married her. I mean, I don't understand why we don't have that yet. I mean, why are we still using actors when the CG is supposedly so good that we can create live action movies without even having any actors? I'm surprised that we're not there yet. I think we should be. Anyway, so Disney's invented this AI de-aging technology so they can have actors be younger. And I'm like, that's great. That's excellent. I think that's fantastic. And I know that something else that they're going to do is that once actors have passed away, they're going to recreate them in films. Like, for example, what's his name from Star Wars? They recreated him, although he didn't look very good. The CGI wasn't good at that point. And then Carrie Fisher, she passed away a while back, so now they're going to recreate her in a few places. Why not? Right? Who owns the rights to deceased actors' likenesses? I guess their estate. So they just asked their estate, hey, can we create a virtual Prince? Can we create a virtual Michael Jackson? Can we create a virtual Carrie Fisher? Can we create a virtual Elvis Presley? And throw them into a kind of live action movie, like make a fake live action movie? Because if you think about it, I mean, most live action films nowadays have so much CGI that they're barely live action at all. Right? I mean, can we even really call it a live action film? Like, look at Avatar 2. Avatar 2 and Avatar 1, for all intents and purposes, were either of those movies, couldn't you really call them live action? How much live action is actually in these films? Isn't it pretty much all animation but using human forms to do some of the acting? So you ask me, why do we even need the human forms to do the acting? Because then I guess we end up with things like Polar Express, although they use human forms in Polar Express too. The AI and the CGI is going to get so good that we're going to be able to have any actor at any age from any era just sort of pop up in any movie. But if you ask me, then you may as well say, well, these aren't live action films anyway. And we're going to get to the point, at some point, we're going to get to the point where we won't need actors anymore. And their likenesses will probably be used and reused and reused till years and years and years after they've died. new actors and actresses won't exist because somebody could just sort of take somebody's image and create a new actor based on that individual, right? They might see somebody and go, oh, that person looks great, I'm going to hire them. Well, no, maybe I won't hire them. Maybe I'll create a likeness that's similar to them, but not so similar to them that it'll run affront of copyright law. So we have to look into changing copyright laws, because what if somebody wanted to make a copy of me? What if they took a copy of me and they said, whoa, we want to create another Chris Kalaboukis, but call him something different and make him slightly different, maybe give him some more hair or something like that. And they could use me in a commercial or something like that. I don't know. And without my consent. I'm sure that people could do that. So maybe we need some new laws which allow you to say, hey, that CG character that you just created for Star Wars 10, he looks a lot like that guy who was on YouTube a number of years ago. Did you, by any chance, copy that guy? Because at some point, we will no longer be making live action films. Live action films will simply be too expensive to create. Because if you think about it, we can digitize almost anything. Look at all these historical dramas that we're seeing nowadays. They're all digital versions of these places. And as the CG gets better and better and better and better, we're not going to be able to distinguish between what's reality and what's CG. And live action films will all become fully animated, but they'll still be presented as live action films. So if you think about it, all of the people who are in that industry, the lighting technicians, the grips, the sound editors, sound editors we still need. There's so many people behind the scenes in live action movie and TV filming that will just disappear. We won't need them any longer because we're not coordinating human individuals anymore. We're coordinating bots on a screen. We've basically converted live action to animation. And I'll bet you anything that that's going to come sooner than you think, because it's very expensive to make a movie. It's extremely expensive to make a movie. And some of the best CG is also extremely expensive. You need high-end machines. You need high-end people to be able to create the best possible CG. But like I said, everything's going to happen. The only question is when. At some point, probably in the next 20 years, maybe even 10 years, we are going to see a full major transition of live action films to CG. And they might copy new actors. You know, if there's a new actor, they probably won't even use the actor. They probably won't even film the actor themselves. They'll put him in a suit or something like that. It'll take a 3D image of the actor and then digitize him and slap him into the film. Will that actor still earn $50 million? Will Tom Cruise still earn $50 million if he doesn't even appear in the film? He's just a scan? Yeah, maybe him. But think of all the other actors who are out there. None of them will be making the big bucks. The days of the megastar will be over. Because all these people are just going to be scans. And if you ask me, I wouldn't mind so much if somebody decided to scan me and actually pay me royalties for whenever I showed up in the screen in the future. That wouldn't be so bad, now would it? As long as they paid me and they didn't just steal my image. But yeah, we're heading in that direction now, and I wouldn't be surprised that within the next 10 years, live action films have completely disappeared. I mean, if you ask me, last Marvel movie I went to see, Wakanda Forever, I don't know how much of that was real. I couldn't tell you how much of that was real. I would say maybe a tiny little fraction of it was real. And if you ask me, they probably didn't even need to do that. They could have digitized, they could have animated the entire thing, and I may not have been able to tell the difference. And you probably wouldn't have either. So, it's coming soon. Fully animated live action movies. Will you still watch it, knowing that there's no actual human beings in this movie? Will you still feel empathy for that CG character, even though you know they were never real? That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.